Hey everybody, we wanted to put together for you a quick video to show to you how you can do the wellness tea tastings in 10 steps, 45 minutes in one box.
Listen, we know so many of you weren't able to make it to Spectacular, and I know for a fact that a lot of people are really nervous about having their first wellness tea tasting, or you've already had a wellness tea tasting and it's gone on for like 2.5 hours, which we do not want to have happen. Remember that people do not want to move in with you, and you don't want them to move in with you. We want to honor our guest time, and this is a tasting, not a party. And so even though it's a social gathering and it's an incredible time to build connections and relationships, and it's truly the greatest social selling model of all time, we want to make it short, sweet, fun, informative, and give people everything they need to make their own best decision about wellness teas. So with that, we have 10 steps, very, very, very simple, based on our own experiences and the experience of other amazing leaders, that we wanted to just put on a video so that you could come back to, watch this again, listen to it, share with your own team members so that we can really help people get off to a very, very fast start and launch incredible businesses with the wellness teas. So the first step is setup and display. And I'm going to let Laura cover that while I zoom in.
Okay, so with the setup and display, remember you want it to be simple, and you can do it in a small space, and you want your whole tea tasting, your wellness tea tasting, to be in one room. So you can see this is one tiny table. Kelly got these great little spice jars that when you're done, you just close them up. They're easy to transport. And at the wellness tea tasting, you open them up, and we just spread out the brochure that has all of the different wellness teas on them. And you could also, if you want, make a little label, but it's not necessary. Like literally, you could just put them in these little jars, have your brochure. We also had the wellness kit, just one bag out, all of our skincare products, and a few brochures. But literally, this was the setup.
The great thing is if you have the room for a full-blown display, go ahead and use it. That's great. But remember that our whole goal is duplication. We also want to give you the ability to do mobile wellness tea tastings. So if you have this kind of setup where literally all you need is pictures of the product and the spice jars, and guys, I got those at Michael's for, it was under $1. I think they were like 50. Wow. 18 of them for $20, and I had a 40% off coupon. Michael's always has the best coupons online. So really, that was it. The second step is welcoming your guests.
So when your guests come in the door, you want to have beforehand prepared a cold wellness tea, and we just put it into a pitcher, and we had it setting right next to this display. When people came in the door, we greeted them with a cup of the cold wellness tea. And we directed them and said, come on in, have a seat, just right in the living room. And as they were making their ways to the seat, we encouraged them to smell.
Right? Smell, steep, sip.
Yep.
That's the pattern.
So what was the next step that we did?
Step number 3 is to have everybody sit down. Remember, this is a one-room event. So if you're having this in your living room, after they kind of smell the teas, or if you're in your dining room or your kitchen, teas are all smelling. Remember, no product pages are out right now, because that's a lot of information for people to take in. What we want them to be taking in is that sensory experience of smell and sight of the teas, and also visiting with the other guests that are there and visiting with you. If they have their nose in a product page, they're missing out on that whole social relationship building experience. So go ahead and have everybody sit down, and you're going to introduce yourself. Don't introduce your guests yet. We have a plan for that. Introduce yourself, welcome everybody, and share your short 3-minute product story. Okay, not your business story yet. You may not even share your business story much at all in the wellness tea tasting, because we have a strategy behind that. But do share your product story and your personal experience with Ladara and how excited you are to have all of them here to be the first to try wellness teas.
And you can do that. You can host by yourself, or if you have a co-host, the two of you could do that together. But these are super simple, you guys. Doing it by yourself is very simple, very fun, but it's also fun to have a friend.
So step number 4 is the surveys.
Okay, so we had these prepared ahead of time on a clipboard. So we had the survey and the order form underneath, and we handed these out with a pen to each person. And as we handed it around, we first of all, you want to ask them, we did not do this last night, we didn't ask them to write their name on it, and then when I collected them at the end of the night, there was one person who said she was interested in the opportunity, and I didn't know who it was. So, learn from our lessons. Ask them to write their name, and then we asked them to just fill out literally this very first question of what are your primary health concerns.
That's it. Now remember what happens when you put papers, especially on a clipboard, in front of any human being, child or adult. They start looking and turning it over. You as the host are in charge of your wellness tea tasting. So it's really important that you say to people when you pass these out, and you can do this one host event. Pass it out and say, don't turn it over. I've got very specific instructions. We're going to get to the whole thing in just a minute. Right now, all I want you to do is write your name and fill out that first step. Then, when that was all done, we had them, step number 5, go around the room and do introductions and share.
So this, you guys, I think made the feeling of this whole event so much warmer, and we connected on a way that I have not seen happen in events like this before. So be sure that you do this step. We went around and just asked them to tell us their name and how they knew either one of us. And also to share the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8 of those health concerns or challenges that they had. And people really opened up, and they, as one person was saying, as my hormones are kicking in, I'm not sleeping as well, everyone was nodding, and and all of the rest of us were nodding. So it built relationship with us, with our guests, but also with each other in the room, and we learned more about them so that, later on we could address those concerns. So.
And it was fun, too. It made talking about these sensitive subjects really fun and engaging. And I want to give huge kudos to Michelle Cruz, because I think she was the one who actually started doing that in Denver. And I absolutely think it's the way to go.
Definitely.
So right after that, we passed around because they have the surveys right in their lap. So we passed around each tea. So let's say this was Energite, we actually went in order. So I'll start in order. We went with the Slim Detox. I smelled it, gave them the instructions, which was to smell the tea, pass it to the next person, and then mark on their survey under aroma for that particular tea, whether they liked it, all the way to loved it, that scale of 1 to 5, the survey has that. Remember, the surveys are available to print in the back office under Ladara Plus. While the tea was being passed around the room, I just covered, and we shared this, we went back and forth, but again, you can do this completely on your own. Went through just a couple of key highlights from the product pages. So these did not go around the room. These never landed in the hands of the people that were at the event. In fact, I shared with them that these were available, that we would be happy to send them to them or email them, that they could get their hands on these, but we kept them in our hands during the event to decrease distraction and increase attention to us and to that social environment. One of the great things about the product descriptions is right up here is the product description. If you know it and you want to just speak to it kind of authentically and without reading it, that's great. But it would be fine if all you did was read the product description, mention the features and benefits. If there's a couple special teas or herbs that you're specifically excited about. And then we loved talking to everybody because the smells are so amazing and the taste, about the natural fruit flavors, which are fruit essences. And really talking about how at Ladara, we are so proud of what we don't put in our products. So we don't put in artificial colors and flavors and fragrances and candied pineapple pieces and things like that. It's real fruit essences. And in fact, so many people add sugar, honey, stevia, things like that in their tea. And we're finding that very, very, very few people do that.
Yeah, we found that last night. They didn't want to add any. And I want to just really quickly point out, you guys, if this kind of intimidates you a little bit, I did not even know we were doing this step until Kelly handed me and said, Laura, do you want to cover this one? And it really is as simple as, you know, reading off. There were a few of them, if you have really quick, like literally 30 seconds, a quick testimonial about, you know, not on everyone, but maybe if there's one that really has made a difference for you, then you can share that as well.
So that was step number 6. And immediately after that, we did step number 7, which was play the video.
And the video that we used was the 7-minute wellness tea video. And you guys have seen it already. You know how vibrant it is, how wonderful it is. I mean, people were totally engaged. And when you're playing the video, you want to act as if it's the first time you've ever seen it. No side conversations, no going out in the kitchen to get more of whatever. Like, just stay there, be present with your guests.
So with that, we want to do a special little insert marketing partner training right here. I think this is really, really important. So really listen to this. If you are the host of the event, you're a marketing partner, and it is your event. This is really your time to shine, to lead, to really set the stage for the event. If you are a marketing partner who is a guest at the event, your role is guest, not marketing partner. Please respect the host or hostess of that particular event. Please do not carry on side conversations. Don't answer all the questions. Don't talk. That is very disruptive to the event itself. It's very disrespectful to the marketing partner who's hosting the event. And it really just creates chaos when we're trying to follow a very simple, very duplicatable system and honor the person who's actually hosting the event.
Yeah. And one thing I'll just add to that is just be aware of the dynamics. You know, as you're doing your introduction, you know, when we have the surveys and we ask people to introduce themselves, if you are a guest, there's no need for you to say, I'm a marketing partner, I've been a marketing partner, I've been disengaged, and now I'm getting back in. Just simply introduce yourself as every other guest is. And, you know, like, put yourself in the shoes of a guest. If you came to an event and there were 10 people there and 4 of them were marketing partners, it makes the dynamic a little awkward if those 4 sitting as guests point out that they're marketing partners and share a little of their history. So, and I know that everybody who has done this, like, they think that they are helping, and that's the intention behind it. But it really is more effective if you just sit back and experience it as a guest. And it's kind of more fun that way, too. You don't get to be in that position very often.
No pressure.
Yeah.
And the other thing we know, too, is that our actions and our behaviors demonstrate for other people what's okay and what's not okay. So if you're a marketing partner as a guest and you brought guests with you, if you start talking and sharing and interrupting, then other guests start talking, sharing, and interrupting. And so we really do set the stage. So anyhow, we just wanted to insert that in real quick because it is a really, really important point. So step number 8 is after all the teas have gone around and you've covered the product pages. And remember, both the introductions of the guests when they share their top concerns or health challenges and the passing of the teas is very quick. This is not something where you don't want to take 10, 15 minutes to do that. Remember, as a host, you're in charge of the speed and kind of the flow of the event. So keep that moving along. Don't let people talk too long. It's okay for you to say, thank you so much, Sherry, for sharing your story. And Lori, let's move on to you. And just click, click, click. You want to move right through that because there's lots to cover in a short period of time. And 45 minutes goes really, really, really fast. So step number 8 is the bottom of the survey. So they've already checked the aroma, right, the whole way through. So then bring their attention to the bottom of the survey, this part from here. Would you like getting your Ladara products for free? Would you like to learn how you can earn a luxury car? Da, 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 da. While they're filling that out, because they've already smelled the teas, if you have teas already individually packaged, and Lily did these for me too, my daughter is on payroll, so just a teaspoon in each one of these, they can use the same cup that they used when you poured them the cold tea when they walked in the door for the event. So they have their same cup, it's probably sitting on the floor or on a table. Ask them which one they want. And I have a whole basket of all of the teas, already pre-prepared and in baggies. So remember, this is, again, portable. Teas aren't going to go bad. They're not going to go stale. And that way you can just pull out the one they want. And what we want you to do is take the tea bag and the hot water to them and pour their hot water in their cup and give them their tea bag to steep. You do not want your guests getting out of their seats. The moment they get up and start moving around, you've lost control of the wellness tea tasting.
Yes. One other point on that, we did have a few people who took, they wanted to take tea bags for family members to try. So that, you may want to have a few extra Ziplocs available to send them with those.
Absolutely. Step number 9 is reviewing the order form.
All right. So on the order form, you want to have it so that the customer order form is face up. And so we just, started with it and said, go ahead and, move your survey to the back. And we asked them to, we looked through the options. Okay, thank you. We talked through the options, starting with the teas. And then at that point, I said, you'll notice on here that we also have some skincare products, which we have not addressed yet. And at that time, we then very briefly covered individually each of the products, and then we talked a little bit about the benefits of, that you could order them together, and showed them where on the order form they could do that. So that was where we introduced the skincare products. It worked great. It flowed really well. And then we, at that time, went ahead and had them fill out their information, answered questions. We ordered we covered the Get It Free, the full money back guarantee, and the free product of the month.
I'm going to give you a little bit of insight here if you haven't seen it already. I calculated out this morning
This is so good.
what the cost is per serving on the home wellness kit. If people order the whole home wellness kit, because remember, they see $125 and go, oh, no way. The home wellness kit is 180 servings of tea, wellness tea, and it's only 69 cents per serving. 69 cents for the best tea in the whole entire world. Yeah. Step number 10 then, we're all the way at the very end, is to have them quickly turn it over and say, listen, I don't know if this is interest for you or not, but I absolutely love being a marketing partner with Ladara. Share very quickly your 30-second business opportunity story, what it's meant to you, your family, how much fun you're having, enjoying time with them in the evenings. All of us have different passions for the Ladara model. And whatever your passions are really can come alive in that moment of the event, to just share why you're so passionate about it. And if that is of interest to them, that you would love to have that conversation with them and talk to them more about it.
Yeah. So 2 ways that you can follow up on this if they say that it is of interest to them. You have the option of, thanking everyone for coming and closing up the party once all of the order forms are in, and saying, for those of you who have an interest in learning more about our opportunity, we're going to stick around, and in 15 minutes we'll do a brief overview of that. What we chose to do last night is, with those people who were interested in learning more about the business, I actually set up separate times with them on my calendar before they left, and we're individually going to go over that. So you choose what's best for you and what's best for your guests. If the majority of people want to learn about the opportunity, then that might be a great time to go ahead and cover it them. It also depends on the time, but if you do cover the opportunity, we recommend that you kind of wrap it up and let those people who are just interested in the products go ahead and make their way home.
Right, because what you want to do immediately when everything is over is take orders, right? You want to close that party out, and you want to answer questions. People are going to want to come over and smell again and ask a question and talk about their health concerns and challenges. One of the ways we're trying to be very progressive with our events and the wellness tea tastings is make them very product focused and relationship and connection focused. People are over the parties and feeling pressured. Here's what we know for a fact, is if you provide a safe environment for people to come, to taste, to share, to feel like they're heard and understood, and they know that you absolutely care about them as a person more than you care about the profit of the orders that you're going to get, you're going to be much more likely to enroll many, many, many more marketing partners onto your team and your organization, because that's really what relationship marketing is all about. So don't feel like you have to go heavy into the opportunity at these events or any of your events. If you first connect and you care and you serve others, the relationship and the trust to become a part of your team and to partner together in business is just going to take on a natural life of its own.
Yeah, said so beautifully. So we just want to encourage you guys, get out there and do your wellness tea tastings. I would recommend once a week, having a regular event, and people are loving them, and use it, as Kelly said, to just really connect and add value to people's lives.
So we know all of you out there doing wellness tea tastings have a lot of ideas as well. We're not taking away from any of those. This is just really an easy, simple format that you can do in your own home, that you can also take on the road with you to keep it very simple and fun, which is our #1 priority, because our goal is creating happiness. So if you want to share some suggestions or some comments below, if you want to share this video with team members, we'd love to hear from all of you, and we'd love to hear your feedback too. From Team LaCelra to you, we love each and every one of you. Have a really, really great day, and happy wellness tea tasting.
We love you guys. Bye.